Jacina Love, you already know where we at, Lavish Live. I'm looking at my special guest right here. We pulled up today on DrenStarr, the dude. I mean, if I do say so myself.
Okay. Okay.
Dren, shout out to this pod network. We here, we rocking. How are you, sir?
I'm chilling, man. Like this is a pleasure. This is an honor. This is a dope vibe. Let's get it.
Thank you so much. You call it the Douce Lounge.
It's the Douce Lounge today. Today, this is the Douce Lounge.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We got the gold cups.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers to
you.
You
Know what I'm saying?
And
this is what we're doing.
Success. Okay. Let's go with this intro because we got a music mogul.
Okay.
We got, manager of all managers. We got. When I looked you up and I read.
Oh, so you did some homework. Did some homework.
Okay. You're already gonna start disrespecting. This is just the beginning. When I read that you infuse the brand, you're infusing life into the brands, I said, "Espérate, wait a minute." But we're gonna start from the beginning. Let's go from the top of the top. You've been in the game since 14 years old.
Yeah. Yep.
DJing and doing all this good stuff.
Yeah.
What was that first moment? Maybe it was a song you heard. What was it that made you tap into hip hop the way you have?
It's just the culture, man. And I'm born and raised in the Lower East Side.
Yes, that's LES.
We in LES right now.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I was born into this. We all have the Bronx, Staten Island, Brooklyn, Shaolin. LES, we never had our shining star. We still have yet to have an artist from the Lower East Side that's how Wu-Tang did it for Staten Island, how
yes.
Jay-Z and Biggie did it for Brooklyn.
Yes.
We never had one of those here. You know what I'm saying? So I was always very determined and always pushed the culture forward because I was born and raised on the lower. So I'm like, damn, man, something, we got to pop off on the lower. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you, shouts to the lower and the culture because when it came to fashion, oh my God, everybody was coming to the lower for that.
Yeah, Orchard Street is right there.
Somebody, you knew.
You had to come here to get your shirling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You had to come here to get your sheepskin.
The leathers. Oh man, that was whole time.
It's still around, but it, dumbed down a little bit. But they still got the shops.
No, they definitely still got the shops.
Yeah.
I got a shirling this winter here.
Okay.
I came down here. To me, it's you want quality, you're gonna come to the best spots. You're gonna come to the spots where from back in the days they still been,
Mm-hmm.
Now, so you went into DJing. Then you went from DJing. We see you on Biggie duets. Yes. Right?
Yeah, that was ill.
How was that time? Because you're working with.
That was dope, man. I did Big Pun's interview. I did one of his last interviews before he passed away.
Oh my God, I want to talk about that.
And at the time I was doing a radio show. And me and Pun and TS, we go back. You know what I'm saying? So we just having a conversation. And I told him, I said, damn, bro, I would have loved to hear, a song with you and Biggie. And he was like, he paused a little bit, like, damn, it was in the works. I see him at the pearly gates.
Wow.
And a couple of years later, it wound up on his album. You know what I'm saying? And that was a good look. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know. One of the engineers told me, yo, just give you a heads up. I was on some legal shit back then. Like, yo, but this nigga using this without permission. I said, but it's Pun and Biggie. I'm not even going to stop that. You know what I'm saying? That's legendary to be featured on a record with the two biggest icons in New York City. You know what I'm saying? That was just something that I definitely didn't expect that.
And you talk about going the legal way, but you was doing something kind of illegal when it came to that radio station.
Oh yeah. I had a
let's talk about that and what you did, because you paved the. Nobody. I don't think anybody's ever done that.
Nah, not in New York. I
never heard
down
of that
south.
Again. When I read that, I was like,
yeah, down south is big.
A few times too. I was like, what he did?
Yeah, down south was big, but in New York, I was the first one to do it. I was on Channel 9 News for that. It was they labeled it as a $75 million operation. That's what it costs to run a radio station in New York City. You know what I'm saying? So when I did that, again, I was on the Lower East Side. I put on for my hood. You know what I'm saying? I put the antenna up in the projects. Went on Sundays, hip hop. Hip hop in New York was slow on Sundays. You had Lisa Evans, you had Bobby Connors, you had talk shows. You had the reggae. So the hip hop was like a little void on Sundays. So I filled that void on Sundays, on doing my hip hop radio station, and it was all illegal. You know what I'm saying? So I was playing a lot of records that these artists now, like, you know, it was a payola thing. If you know the industry, you know radio, you know, they can't play your record just because it's a hot record. Your man could be the DJ. It don't work like that.
It don't work
it's
like
corporate. It comes down from the top to the bottom.
There's an agenda.
There's a whole agenda. It's called programming. And if you don't got that bag and you don't fit that agenda, it's not going to happen. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? So I did that. You know what I'm saying? I did that. My guy Marley Marl, which is another hip hop legend in this game. And, you know, he was bugging like, yo, Dren, how you doing this? And, you know, he does radio all around the world forever. Like, he's a legendary radio icon. So for him reaching out to me like, yo, let's activate, bro. Like, you doing this pirate, I love it. You know what I'm saying? Let's tap in. So, you know, he put me on to this whole broadcasting thing with the remotes. So it's funny. I'll tell you a funny story. Like, Marley told me to go to his crib one time on a Sunday because he did Future Flavors.
Okay.
So Future Flavors, for the people that don't know, like, they played all the exclusives for 1 hour on Sundays that you can never hear anywhere else.
Wow.
Like, no mixtapes, or like they did it straight for Marley Marl because they knew that 1 hour he's gonna blast off. You know what I'm saying? So like me and him just collaborated, and it was a dope show. And then, you know, while I was live on the air, the Channel 9 team, Bob and Taylor chick calls me.
While you're on air.
While I'm on the air, and I'm like, fuck. Because, you know, once they get involved, it's quiet.
That's it.
It's quiet. So I'm like, damn. Like, you know, so, you know, I picked up her call, and, you know, she showed me love, though. I was in shock. Because once they call, it's over. I'm like, you know what? I went for the gusto because I knew it was going to last anyway. So, you know, I took it all away. But now she showed love. She's like, yo, you know, I see what you're doing. You know, a few artists gave me your number. This is why, you know, I'm listening. I tapped in. You know, you playing these records that don't get played on Hot 97. Yada, yada, yada. They was doing a whole investigation on Hot at the time, which I didn't know. And, you know, she was like, you know, a lot of artists gave me your name and your number, and I'm actually listening to you now. Like, I want to interview you. And I'm like, all right, but where you going with this? And she goes, you know.
Shut you down.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I had her like, she's already tapped in, so I couldn't really fight her on it. But she showed love, though. She showed love. You know, she threw a little punch at the end, but that's her job.
Yes.
Because I watch I-Team again. I watch the news a lot. So, like, when the I-Team investigates you, they just shit on you the whole interview. She showed me love the whole interview. Like 2 seconds at the end, she's like, yeah, you know, Lower East Side, airplane towers, something. It's not good for airplanes. But other than that...
It's not good for airplanes.
Yeah, other than that, the whole interview was dope. You know what I'm saying? She bigged us up. She kept showing it like every hour on the hour for like a whole week before it aired on the news. So I'm like, damn. But the feds came right after that. So she didn't shut me down, but the feds saw that and they're like, oh, he's bugging out. Like he's doing this, and they doing the news is they advertising.
The news is actually advertising for them.
So she came to the crib. She, you know, she couldn't believe it. So, you know, she was in the crib. I had her in the living room.
Stop. You probably started internet radio. Like, that's probably where people realized that, wait a minute, I could put an antenna here. I could plug this software here.
It was dope, though, man. That was good times. You know, that was, you know, I tell people, like, there was no social media back then. So, like, we were social media. You know what I'm saying? So we had dudes in the barbershops. There was, you know, dudes used to still play the block on the payphones. They was putting their 25 cents a call in live and give their shout outs. And, you know, we used to host battle raps on the phone. It was a dope time. You know, a lot of people want me to bring it back. I'm like, nah, we can't. There's internet radio. There's so much going on now.
There's too much going on. Yeah. But to say that's 3 decades. Yeah. Right? You're talking about this, you enlightening us with all this culture. And it's 3 decades of DrenStarr in the industry. Yeah. Now, okay, wait a minute. So when it came to managing and starting the first this first recording studio out of LES, which was first? So I did, when the Fed shut me down, I opened up my studio. It was called Pirate Recordings. You know, I kept the radio algorithm in it. You know what I'm saying? So I love it.
It was called Pirate Recordings. I did it, you know, downtown LES. Yo,
and hear that algorithm. You guys been talking about algorithm since then.
You know what I'm saying?
So now I have a question about how you mastered the game now, but I already see how it's already mapping out.
Yeah. So, you know, I did the studio thing first after my radio station got shut down, and then through the studio, a lot of the artists were coming through. Like, all right, he did the radio thing, transit to the studio. A lot of artists were coming to the lower, you know what I'm saying? A lot of big names was coming through there. And then, you know, it grew from there. You know what I'm saying? And then, once it grew, I took the show on the road. Then I started managing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So when I started
When
managing,
I saw your roster and I saw Ghostface Killer, I said,
yeah, he got the hottest album in the world right now. The Set the Tone is lit.
what?
Set the Tone is lit. You know what I'm
How
saying?
was it managing though? Because managing is not easy. Managing is not for everybody.
It's not easy. It's not for everybody. It was a chamber that I dealt with. I got that experience. It's dope. And I managed certain artists. And like, once you manage certain artists, you can manage anybody.
Okay.
So like, it was cool. Is something I would do again? Absolutely not. We live in different times. This is a different era. And, but I definitely had a good time during that element of my life. You know
Give
what I'm
us
saying?
a funny story from Ghostface.
A funny Ghostface story. Okay. I don't know if this is a funny one, but
I'm already laughing.
being in hip hop, this also had to do with me, getting locked up and doing my bid and doing my time. But we was on the tour bus one time, and this is before weed was legal. You know what I'm saying? So I was on parole, fighting my charges. No, I wasn't on parole. I was on probation.
Okay.
And I thought it couldn't happen. So we was on a tour bus, and I forgot what city we was in, but we did like a 30-city tour, and we get pulled over. And I'm like, damn, there's mad weed on the tour bus. And I'm flipping. I'm flipping on everybody. I'm like, yo, I told you I'm not playing with y'all niggas. This is crazy. This is my life.
This is my life.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? Then there's dudes on the tour bus that are on parole. They don't even belong on the bus. So
my God.
Yeah. So
the whole bus is in trouble.
Yeah, the whole bus is in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So then I get like 20 rooms in my name because they don't belong on the road. So if you put your name in a hotel, all that is public record.
Yeah.
So every time something happens, every time somebody lose their key or they
God.
calling me, you're drunk, somebody trying to get into a room. I'm like, come on. But anyway, we get pulled over, and the bus driver was a Mason. I don't know about this. This is the first time I learned about this Mason thing. And I'm going in on him. I'm like, yo, bro, we can't. I gotta get off this bus, bro. I'm fighting a charge right now. Like there's a lot of weed on this bus. Like, it's not nothing crazy. It's just, but at the time we wasn't legal.
I mean, even affiliating with certain people, right? Because they even take you for that too.
Yeah. So the good thing about it though was, listen, I believe in God. God works in mysterious ways, and the bus driver told me, yo, I'm a Mason, bro. I got this. I'm like, you a what? And the cop that pulled us over happened to be a Mason as well.
Oh,
so there's like a code. There's like a secret society with that situation.
It's a secret society. You know about this? It's a secret society.
Yeah. So long story.
We asked for his trust.
Long story short, like 3 more state troopers came. They did that little Mason talk. Bus driver gave me the wink. He goes, I told you we good, bro. Went back on the road. From that day on.
You wanted to be a Mason?
No.
Okay.
From that day on, I took my ass off that tour bus, and I gave up my bed. The tour bus got little beds and cribs and living rooms and all that. And I rode with the guy that drove behind the tour bus with all the merch. Because, every city we have merch. I said, I'm good, but I don't want nothing to do with that bus. I'm all the way good.
Not for nothing, but that was like a manager thing too. Because sometimes the manager allows the artist to be who they want to be.
Of course, and you can't, you don't want to be the party pooper. You know what I'm saying? But my life is on the line.
But what did Ghostface say out of all of this is going on? What he said? He's in the back high, like, bro.
Nah, he don't even smoke none of that.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's why I don't like doing the management thing no more, because it's always the crew that gets you in some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the artists be chilling all the time. It's always the crew. One member of the crew does something dumb and they don't know who he is. They blame the artist. Oh, it was such and such from, you know what I'm saying? Yada, 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 yada. So, like I said, I have fun, but Ghost is my brother, man. Like, we go back 25 plus years. He's still relevant, from that time till now. Like, we just did his release party last week. I was with him 2 days ago in the harbor for Jada Kiss's birthday. And there's always love when we link up, man. There's always love, even though I don't travel with them no more. I asked his manager now, my man Sean Wiggs. I'm like, yo, y'all doing a run for this? And he gave me that look like, you trying to come back? And I'm like, nah, I just wanna. Are y'all doing a tour run for this? He's like, yeah, absolutely. I said, all right, bro, that's what's up. I'll see you on the road. You know what I mean?
Nice. Okay, so you talk about doing a bit, right? But when you came out to world that was moving a little faster.
Yes.
The pace was a little different. But Dren, you picked up
I
right
had
where
to.
you left off. It was like you wasn't. So talk to us about that drive. Talk to us about what you had to study. Talk to us about what you did to catch up. Because you caught up and passed us.
I did. I caught up. I mean, it wasn't easy, man. You know, I did 5.5 years for a gun charge. Again, it's all hip hop, you know, not no stuck up kid, not no drug dealer, like, you know, it's hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, we was in the clubs, we was moving, you know,
Straight up.
that was part of the backpack. You know, you always needed the hammer on you for whatever reason, and you know, the
It was
beef.
different times.
Yeah, different times,
Different
you know, crews
times.
beefing together.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I came home, they was like, you know, a lot of people was coming to see me up top, and they was like, yo, this social media thing is going wild, bro. And I'm like, what? You know, they would send me when I would get my letters in the mail, like Instagram, like what Instagram was, and you know, taking screenshots and printing them out, and you know what I'm saying. Now they got tablets. So when I was locked up, we didn't have tablets.
Yeah.
You really had to get, you know, the mail, you know, correspondence. And I'm like, damn, this is different. Like, you know, back then I was very private, and it's crazy because you would never, the way I'm loud, like everybody see you loud. I'm like, this is what you got to do. People, social media is what it is. So you got to use it the right way.
That's right.
A lot of people don't know how to use it correctly. So I'm using it correctly. Like when you click on my story, you're going to have a good time. You're going to laugh. I'm going to show you things that you're not going to see everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I had to catch up with the times, you know what I'm saying? And I think I did a pretty good job, you know what I'm saying?
Sometimes it's just about timing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just about timing, who you are, good faith, a good person, and it just all falls into place.
And it, you know, it's a tool. It's very important. Even this podcast, like, you know, social media pushes the views to your channel. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that you get guests on here that's making noise and do the right thing. And I've been watching you for a minute. Same way you did your homework, I did my homework. I'm like, oh, word, let's get it. Let's get to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? This is dope. This is a dope opportunity.
I feel like with all that and that momentum that you kept, you also kept a name for yourself. You also, because of who you were, because of the stand-up person you were, there was no time missed when you came out. So I want to hear what it takes to be this stand-up person.
Absolutely. You know, I tell people all the time, I say, you know, a lot of what we in now, in this day and age, like, I branded myself first. You know what I'm saying? Like, people know me for me. DrenStarr is DrenStarr. I'm self-made. I'm my own brand. And then now I'm working with Duce. It's, you know, the biggest cognac brand in the world right now. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
if you do say.
If I do say so myself, you know what I'm saying? I can't speak for everyone else, but it's very important that you brand yourself first, because when you do that, you become very powerful, you become very relevant. And for me, I just stay in my lane and I do what I do. You know what I'm saying? So to be affiliated with a brand like Duce and Rock Nation is an honor. You know what I'm saying? Like, they saw the hustle in me. They saw everything that I did, all the grind and all of the years. So it was like a win-win. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's very important that you brand yourself first. You know what I'm saying? Because without that, everything else is irrelevant. Like, you know, there's people that, I don't know how they do it. They get lucky, but their brand carries them. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we good. You know what I'm saying? We good. And I like to, you know, keep that energy, and I've been doing this for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? And I strategically, like, went from managing artists to working with a brand. And I, you know, and I tell people I love the brand because the brand don't talk back. You know what I'm saying? We do a lot of dope activations.
Wow, I love that. The brand don't talk back.
The brand don't talk back.
Something you carry.
Yeah, everything we do, we activate. We you know, we do a lot of dope shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you manage an artist, there's a lot of back and forth, arguing, studio time,
it's their vision, it's your vision.
Yeah,
it's a little
you try
bit
to
of
work
both,
together.
right?
And it's like, you know, now, you know, when we do activations, it's like, yo, does Duce want to be involved? And, you know, I'll go back and forth, and I'm like, nah, we good. But if it makes sense, it makes sense. All right, let's do it. And when we do it, it's always amazing. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing, and everybody has a good time, and there's smiles and there's cheers, and, you know, so to do that from where I came from to now, it's like, it's like, all right, there's gratitude. There's a lot of gratitude. There's a lot of love, and a lot of dope appreciation.
What you love most about the game?
This game is. That's a good question. You got me.
Cause this.
That's an excellent question. No one's ever asked me that question. What I love about, what, I could be myself. I get to be who I am. There's no fake. This is me. It's DrenStarr. This is what you get. You know what I'm saying? And I always kept a lot of great relationships. I didn't burn bridges. If I did it on purpose because it wasn't needed. You know what
You
I'm
heard
saying?
that? So anybody who burn bridges, did it on
Yeah,
purpose.
I'll do it because I know how to swim. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna do backflips. I'm gonna do all types of wild
dive
shit.
in too.
Yeah,
Go in.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that I could be myself, and I don't have to change, and I don't have to, I don't have to cater to my audience. Like I could just be who I am, and that's what I love, and this is why we're here, because I am who I am. You know what I'm saying?
And I was just gonna say, like, for your journey, for your success, for everything you've done up until now, they always say the piece of advice is be yourself.
Absolutely.
So it's exactly that.
And I always say, stay in your lane. They was like, yo, Dren, how come you never put out an album? You know everybody. I'm like, bro, that's not, I stay in my lane, bro. I do different kind of business that involves a lot of people that we know. But that's a problem with this industry, that people just want to wear 8 hats. You want to be, one day you're a rapper, one day you're a producer, one day you this, one day you, bro, you're doing too much.
Do you think like that because we come from an era where back then you couldn't do too much? You literally had to focus on 2 things tops. Now it's like they want to have their hands in everything.
Yeah,
it's like, all right, if I'm doing this,
it's too easy now. Like, example, I come, from being a DJ, and back then, like, you had to have records, you had to have crates. Now you could just go to Best Buy, buy a laptop, email your man, and get every record in the world on a hard drive this big, and you a DJ.
And not only that, but to put the music together, that was like, what's gonna come right after I play this J? What's gonna come right after I play this? Now it's like, okay, it makes its own little algorithm.
Yeah.
So it puts the songs where they go. It makes it all cute.
Yeah. I mean, like even the social media thing, like, where I come from, the era I come from, like you really had to know people. You really had to have relationships. That's right. Now you could just hop in somebody's DM, and if they answer you back,
that's it.
It happens. That shit didn't exist before. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you want to kick something off, like it was like, yo, I got to call my man. I got to call my homegirl. We're going to make this happen. We're going to make it work. Now you got Zoom. You got all these type of digital things that's a bunch of shortcuts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of relationships are not rock solid like they should be because of how easy things are now. You know what I'm saying? So, I come from the old school. I'm still with that old school relationship. I like to shake hands. I like to say what's up.
That's why I love to see what you're doing right now, honestly.
Even on Instagram, like, people were like, yo, how come you don't follow me back? Bro, I never even had a conversation with you. I'll follow you.
Because you in my DM, that's it?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I have a rule. Like, my rule is like, yo, if we spoke and we shook hands and we had that conversation, I'll follow you back. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I give it up. You know what I'm saying? Now, this whole social media thing is out of control, and it's cool. I'm not against it, but it's like, don't get mad at me because I don't follow you back. I don't even know you, bro. And then because of social media, it's weird. People think they know you because you show them a window of your life. So it's
so weird.
It's crazy.
It's so weird.
It's crazy.
Like, I've had people come up to me in the street like, hi, we follow each other. It's not even for what I do. It's not. No, it's like we follow each other, and it's like, oh,
it's crazy.
Hi, this is interesting.
I navigated. I think I handled it pretty, but sometimes it rubs me the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Especially at these high-profile events. Everybody can't be invited. You know what I'm saying? So like, we do, Rock Nation and Duce, we do a lot of high-profile events, and I'll show up with my team, and they'll be like, yo, Dren, he said he's with you, and I'm like, I don't never met this dude. And listen, if you know me, I'm very humble. I'm very respectful. Even if I don't know you, I'll shake your hand. I'll say what's up.
You're gonna show
But
love.
I'll show love, but don't use my name. But if you don't know me and people are coming up to me, you're Dren, and I'm like, who? Yo, bro, I follow you. I'm your. All right, but you don't know me. Like, come on, bro. Like, let's. You know what I'm saying? So these are the times that we live in now. You know what I'm saying? So we got to adapt to it, and I think I adapted pretty well. You know what I'm saying? There was
Don't
probably,
say you think. Though now you trying to
there
be
was
all
probably
humble.
one time where I got a little crazy, and I was in another. It wasn't even New York. I was in another state, and this dude just kept, yo, but Dren, but I know you, and I had to tell him, my nigga, you don't know me, bro. You what do you mean you know me? Like, you're telling me that you know me? I don't know who you are.
And
But
who argues
do you want to come into the party?
Who argues that just to come into a party?
Yeah. And then he snuck in the party. Not only did he sneak into the party, he snuck into our section.
Oh my goodness. This was your best friend, Dren. Why you
did
that to him?
Wild. It's wild. So if you know me, say what's up to me, man. I'm gonna show love. I'm gonna show respect, but not at an event. Like that's the time and place where we could kick in and we could speak and we could, you know what I'm saying?
All right. So this is work. 3 decades of work.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel right now in your field of work is the best thing going on in hip hop?
I think the best thing in hip hop right now is I think the violence like calmed down, especially with this.
So even with the drill, even with you feeling like the violence
well the
calmed
drill's
down.
that's a good point. The drill's a little different, you know what I'm saying? But like with these beefs that just happened, like, they really kept it on wax. Or now you got to say they kept it on the gram. Because everything just comes out. Back then you had to wait till a mixtape came out.
So true.
Or like a freestyle. Now, like the responses,
which was better because the anticipation.
the anticipation used to brew. It used to brew. You know what I'm saying?
Which maybe that's why it was so heated then. Because now I feel like it's almost like
it happens so fast.
It happens so fast. It happens so easy. It's just given. It's there. We already know that. If Drake dropped at 9 in, Kendrick was dropping at 12 tonight. So we already were anticipating that.
And then you gotta hope that it's done because this AI shit is wicked. Because you know what I'm saying? You gotta hope it's done because
the ones in the back.
I done heard some shit and they're like, yo, that's neither one of them. That's somebody just went and typed it up and it sounds just like them. And, I do shit on my stories like, yo, Dren, you got Biden talking about you got
Trump talking about
Trump. You know what I'm saying? So like again, I have a good time with it. You know what I'm saying? I give people a show. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes they say, yo, bro, you sometimes you push the line. I'm like, I'm always gonna push the line. That's why I am who I am.
That's right.
And that's what got me to where I'm at. I'm always gonna push the line, and I'm gonna break the rules a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's the motto I live by. The rules are made to be broken, and you found the right one. Because I'm gonna push the line.
I mean, from the radio days, we know that
exactly
you don't mind breaking rules.
Exactly.
A little sidebar with that. You knew how much it was worth and what you were doing when you did that radio thing?
I didn't know how much it was worth until she said it on the news. Like she did her homework. I knew it was up there though because in New York City there's no, when it comes to FM radio, I don't care how much money you have. You could be Bill Gates, Steve Jobs. I mean not Steve Jobs, but the other all these millionaires. You can't just buy a radio station in New York. It doesn't work like that. Like there's a frequency, and you have to buy a station that's already existed. You just can't wake up and say, "Hey, I'm gonna be on 97.1 today." It just doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? So when I knew that, I'm like, "Wow, you really tapped in." Yeah, we tapped in. I think
because of y'all, they really secured it, and I don't even think it's probably possible for somebody to get it in 10.
There isn't. There's no frequencies in New York. Period.
I never heard of that.
Yeah.
When I read that, I was like, "What? FM?"
On FM. So if you want a radio station now, you have to buy one that's already existed. You can't create one. I don't care how much money you have, and I don't care who you know. You have to buy one that's already out.
So that's why I was doing this interview. I thought we were gonna create a radio station.
we started some shit. You know what I'm saying? We definitely set that tone.
That's crazy.
91.9, the good old days.
I love it. So in an industry where people come in and, you know, we work so hard, because I mean, the industry is not, no matter how watered down people could say it is, no matter how fugazi people could say it is, that's an old word, right? Mm-hmm. No matter how, it's work.
That's a lot of work.
Us as artists, we put in work. Sometimes we're doing it broke. Sometimes, like, this is work. Do you feel where you're at, and with all the work you've done, do you feel it's a game of who you know or what you know?
Another good question. It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both because, like I said, it's a small industry. You can't burn bridges. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you just, I mean, it's both because what you know, like it, right? Like it brings you to who you know, and then you intertwine that. You know, that's like the question of loyalty, or like what's the other one they always say, like, that's
because a lot of people come into the game, right, and they're like, I'm gonna work my ass off, I'm gonna do what I have to do, I'm gonna be this person, and then after a few years they're like, I did everything I had to do, but I still don't know the right people. And for me, it's not, you know, my homegirl came in just last year and she's in, and I'm not.
Got it. Okay. So when you put it in that context, you know, I mean, Pun said it the best, man. He said sometimes you just get lucky. You know, like some people really get lucky. You know, they talented, they got a little gimmick, a little dance, or something is working for them. They get lucky and they get on. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, is to me, it's a little bit of both, but definitely who you know, is a plus. You know what I'm saying? Because this industry is very small. Even though there's a lot of elements to it now with like social media and you know, podcasts, but it's definitely who you know, because we all look out for each other. You know, we all speak good about each other, and if you played yourself, you played yourself.
Yeah.
You know, that's always going to be a thing. You know, that's how people get blacklisted. You know what I'm saying? Because they do too much and they start bugging out, and you get blacklisted. You know what I'm saying? Because if you the homie. I'm like, yo, she good money with me, my nigga. Like, what you did? Mm-hmm. And I'm always gonna speak great about you. You never did nothing wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? You doing your thing. So like, there's no reason for me to like talk bad about you. That's why I always say don't burn bridges, because we all need each other. We all in the same industry. There's all different elements.
Yes.
And everybody's grinding, and we all doing what we have to do to survive. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is so, yeah, I would say it's who you know. I would, you know, the more I speak.
See, we got it out of him.
Yeah. The more I speak, it's definitely who you know, because this whole game is relationships. You know, there's even when I came home in 2016, and you know, I got things done very quickly because of who I knew. And there was people that couldn't get it done right.
But I would say, and I would add, it was the work you did.
Oh, absolutely. It was the work that I did.
Now we back to both.
Yeah, we back to that.
Now we back to both.
You're right. We back to that. But again, you know,
it's how you did the work.
It's
you did that those people kept your name alive,
yes,
until you came back.
Yes, and you know, and again, it's keeping good graces, because I was away for 5.5 years, and I came home, and you know, one of my people was telling me, yo, I've been trying to get this dude on the phone for 2 years, bro. And I called him one time, he picked up in 30 seconds. And it was on speaker. Because now, you know, now I'm home. I was home for like a month. So now, you know, all of these iPhones, everything's new to me. So I'm like a little kid. I'm like, yo,
let's use the speaker.
Yeah, put the speaker. This nigga, yo, Dren, what up, nigga? And, you know, my man is tight. Like, I've been trying to call that nigga. And I'm like, yo, you don't know him. And see what happens? Like, when you don't have a relationship, like, I have a genuine relationship. So when I call people, it's not always about business. It's about a what's up first. Yo, what's up? How you doing? How's the family? How's the kids? You know, what's going on? And then we'll get into business. So yeah, it's who you know. I'm riding with who you know.
It's who you know.
But
and
yeah,
work too.
But what
work too, because even meeting somebody, I would say too, like, you're gonna meet me, if it ain't about my business, it's like, oh, she was cool, but you know, there was no work there. There was no work ethic.
Yeah.
So we have both again.
But it's still who you know.
Oh, I have to say it.
I'm gonna, yeah, it's still
who you know.
Yeah.
Dren, what we working on beside running the world for Duce? Because I mean, when I say y'all everywhere,
We are.
oh my jeez,
We are.
Louise.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of big things. The brand is growing. We're going on 12 years now. You know, a lot of people think that we've been out for like 100 years, like the rest of the brands. And we're like, we're like the new artist that's on fire, that's still performing and selling out all this.
Drake. Y'all the Drake of the game right now, of the liquor game.
Yeah, we selling out all these arenas and people are coming to see us. And, we just did Megan Thee Stallion in the Garden last night.
That was fire.
And it was dope. Cardi came out and, Duce was right there front and center. You know what I'm saying? And we just, it's great to see what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? As a collective, we have a whole team. We have a whole army. I'm in charge of New York, which is the biggest market, the biggest city in the world.
I can't even imagine.
And I'm grateful that they gave me that torch, because it's a lot of responsibility.
That's right.
New York is not, Wisconsin.
It's
like New York City is exactly. It's a beast. And there's a lot of competition here.
Let me sip to that.
Yes. And I will too. And I'm street. I'm hood. And now that, you gotta get now corporate is involved. So it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? It's not, just go out there, do what you want. When you get to a certain level, it's like, oh, now there's corporate, now there's bosses watching, now there's we sponsor a lot of events, so there's a lot of eyes.
How'd you learn how to do that? Turn the street off and do the corporate thing, or you just?
I say it sometimes. I say it all the time. Like, listen, I don't got no marketing degree. I didn't go to school for marketing. It's the hustle in me. It's something that I just know how to do. You know what I'm saying? So if you a hustler, you a hustler. That's it. Some people hustle other things. Like I'm hustling Duce right now. Like I'm gonna get this brand everywhere. And if it's not there, it's gonna be there. And people love the whole activation part of it. Duce right now, there's no brand in the world, I don't care who you are, that does what we do.
You heard?
No brand in the world. And I'm not going to say names and shout them out because we're not going to do that, but people paying attention. There's a lot going on right now. And Duce is on fire right now.
On fire.
And we do the dopest events. We everywhere.
The dopest. That's what I said. I was like, once you brought the Duce in here, that's it. I'm official.
Yeah, this is the Duce Lounge. This is Duce Lounge.
That's it.
And you're always invited to anything we do. So don't ever hesitate. Okay. I know people feel weird. Yo, listen.
Nope, I'm going to your DMs now.
Text me. Yeah, you got my number. Yeah, you got my number. Yeah, send me a text. You and your whole team is invited, and there's no questions about that. You family. Mike and them, everybody's family. You know what I'm saying? So, again, it's who you know.
Oh, and I met the key right there. Right here, I met the key.
So you know.
Yo, Dren, I congratulate you.
Thank
you.
I
applaud you.
Thank you.
This is culture.
Yes, and I appreciate
you're able to work 3 decades.
Yeah, and I'm still here. I
was
never
greatness.
According to them, I wasn't supposed to be here. The CEOs, I was supposed to come home, but I'm here and I'm thankful and I'm blessed.
Yeah, there's no. According to nobody, there's nobody, because we know who we answer to.
Absolutely.
And that's why we're here.
Absolutely. Thank you for this opportunity. This is dope.
I thank you for this, and I can't wait to see what's to come, because it's not over.
Nah, definitely not. We just started. We just getting started.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we just getting started.
Oh man, I can't wait.
We're gonna take this on the road.
And the summer's coming.
That's it.
Shouts to you too, working with Rolling Loud, and I loved that for a time. Rolling Loud was so the way we could go in there, interview artists, do say all over. Listen.
Yeah, this is dope.
Working a lot of dope shit.
And even me being Latino, like, you know what I'm saying? This now that you mentioned Rolling Loud, we had Alafa perform and Rolling Loud, and it bothered me because they didn't know who he was. You know what I'm saying? And then, we was in the Loud Club, and it's the first time ever a Latino performed in Rolling Loud. And I went on the stage when he got off, and I said, yo, you're gonna come to our section. And I get it, he's the big homie, like, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't know, the Rolling Loud people didn't know who he was, like how big he was. You know what I'm saying? So there was no sections available at all, none. And he was like, "Yo, Dren, whatever they want, I'll give." And I'm talking to him. I'm like, "Bro, there's no sections available." You know what I'm saying? So I pulled him and his whole family, his kids, his wife, everybody, and I would do C-section. And his kids weren't even allowed. They was in one of these in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it's got to be 21 and over. You know, there's the whole legal aspect.
There's a lot going on, too.
There's a lot going on. And again, back to it's relationships. So he would never forget what I did for him and his family.
That's right.
When he wanted to get a section on the table and they was like, "Nah, there's no, everything's sold out. We don't." He could have bought the whole fucking shit. He could have bought all 20 tables.
Seriously.
You know what I'm saying?
He's like, what do I have to do?
You know, and I'm speaking to them. I'm like, yo, y'all had him on the stage, so clearly y'all know who he is because y'all put him on that stage. But now that it's come time to go to Loud Club, you want to tell him it don't work like that. But I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make sure he has a good time. Him and his whole family, and you know, it's us working together, looking out for each other. You know what I'm saying? And funny story. The VP of marketing, which is my guy Sherwin, you know, me and him was going at it. He was like, "Yo, Dren, I want my whole section clear. I want my whole section clear." And I could tell the story because he's my brother. And he's like, "I don't care who's there, bro. I want my section clear when I show up." I'm like, "Bro, I got you. I'll clear everyone else out, but Alpha's not moving, bro. I'm sorry.
Heck no.
Alpha's not moving, bro. Like,
no.
he's my guy. I got his family here. He just ripped the stage now. Like this, he's huge right now. I don't care who he is." I'm like, "All right." So, fast forward, 3 months later, Alpha's in the Garden, sold out. Sharon calls me, "Yo, Drum, we good, right? We got passes for the." I said, "Oh, now?" I said, "Oh, wait, hold on." I said, "Yo, remember you wanted me to throw him out the section?" He goes, "Yo, I didn't know who he was. You know, I heard him now. I'm hearing boom, boom, this and that." I'm like, "All right, cool." So it was a good, again, it's doing good business. Sometimes it could get a little crazy.
Yes.
You know, I could have lost my position. I could have lost it. But that's how,
know what you're doing,
that's
and
how
who
loyal.
you're doing it for,
yes,
too.
exactly. I'm doing it. That's how loyal I am, and I'm doing it for the brand. I'm doing it for us, not only for myself. The brand is gonna look good. I had Alpha holding Douce bottles, taking pictures, and then after that, it was like, you know, we seen some other sucker shit going on, but I'm like, we did that.
That's right.
We did that, and he will never forget it. And you know, I got his kids, and we take, you know, we got them on the golf carts.
Whoever don't know, these Spanish artists that make the numbers they make on YouTube,
different.
You guys are not tapped in.
Exactly.
That's all I gotta say.
Exactly.
You're not, and it's not even. We're not putting hip hop against. We're not.
No.
Just look at those numbers.
It's out of this world. Out of this world. Trust me when I tell you.
Okay, that's what we're gonna leave it at that.
Yep.
So that's amazing too. Being Latino, being in the game, being from the hood, being from LES, and you're walking into these doors and you're paving the way and you're saying, "No, ese va a quedar aquí. He's gonna stay here because this is the movimiento right now.
This is the movement. Exactly.
Let's
1000%. Yep.
Let's go. Man, Dren, such a pleasure.
Pleasure. Thank you
for this. Yo, we out of here. Y'all already know we pulled up to LES. Jacina Love, DrenStarr, Douce in the building. This Pod Network, Lavish Live. We out of here.
Peace.